Since the NFL season's about a week and a half away and college football is just getting going, it felt like a really good time to come here and give you an updated 2024 NFL mock draft. That's right. It's already that time. It's not even September. Let's talk about next year's NFL draft. Can never be satisfied. It's always about the future. But I was thinking about it today as I was sitting down and doing the mock draft. I said, damn, that looks really funny for some reason. I don't know why it struck me so much. The 2024 NFL draft. And it gave me flashbacks to other draft memories over the years. You know, and I sit there and think to myself, God, I'm thinking about the 2004 draft and and how excited I was when Tommy Harris was drafted by the Bears. He fell to him at pick 14. I remember how pissed I was in 2003 when they took Michael Haynes and Rex Grossman. On and on and on and on, right? And I sat there and thought to myself am I really going to be doing this in 20 years? Coming online and talking about the 2024 NFL draft and doing mock drafts and videos and you know what, health and Lord Allah, whoever willing, yeah, I think I will be. It's kind of funny to think about. It's a long ways away, but it's going to get here just like that. So, anyways, off of that ramble that you probably didn't give a shit about, one thing I want to call out here is the draft order here is based solely off of the Super Bowl winner odds as of today with DraftKings. Do not look at this and say, that team's going to be better. That team's going to be worse. How dare you disrespect my team? I don't give a fuck. It's not about that. So stop it. Just stop it. It is not what it is about whatsoever. It is just the way the odds are right now. It gives me a baseline that I can consistently execute against. That's it. So anyways, let's talk about my picks. You'll see them in the description box of this video. And start off at the top, as always. If the Arizona Cardinals were ever going to find a year to tank, this would be a really good one to do it. Yeah, Kyler Murray contract being an albatross notwithstanding. Like, if they're going to be really bad this year, let them be really bad this year. Now, if Jonathan Gannon comes in and works some type of miracle and they're like an 8 or 9 win football team, then you're kind of like, shit, right? But there is certainly that potential. You see a number of people talking about, hey, the Cardinals could end up with 2 top 5 picks in this draft, 2 top 3 picks in this draft. Be like, what was it, the Washington Commanders? Still so odd and stupid to have to say that name of all names. 2000 draft with LeVar Arrington and Chris Samuels, right? If you go back to the 92 draft with the Colts and you got Steve Ettman and Quentin Coriat when the Colts had the first and second pick. The Commanders that year had the second and third pick. So it certainly happens, right? And the Cardinals, between their own pick, which could be very, very high, and the Houston Texans pick that they acquired in this past draft when the Texans just had to trade up for Will Anderson, that could be very high. If things go well for the Cardinals in 2023, which means that they suck and the Texans really suck, and they ended up in a spot where they had the top 2 picks in next year's draft, to be able to come out of there with like a Caleb Williams and a Marvin Harrison Jr., holy shit. Arizona changed the trajectory of their franchise massively, potentially just like that. Now, is that likely to happen? Absolutely not. Because either the Cardinals will be a little better than people anticipate, or the Texans are going to be quite a bit better than people anticipate. So it's unlikely to happen. And even then you could say, well, if they, in that spot, would they really just take both players, or would they draft a quarterback and then trade back? That's a possibility as well, right? Because there could be another team that's desperate for Drake May or another quarterback in this draft. But for now, just assuming the Cardinals take 2 players with the first 2 picks. Indy at 3. You just drafted Anthony Richardson, assuming he's going to be the guy. I love his potential and upside. I'm a big fan of his. You got to address left tackle. You got to protect him. Got to invest in protecting him. And that's where I think Fashanu makes sense for them at 3. Could be a spot where they would want to trade back, and it could make sense. But if not, I think you invest in the offensive line there. Which leaves you the Bucs at 4. Baker Mayfield. Do you really think he's going to be a long-term answer? I don't think so. You think Kyle Trask is going to be a long-term answer? I don't think so. it's likely the Bucs come into this next draft looking to address the quarterback position. If they do, Drake Maye is going to make a world of sense. Because in the months ahead, you're going to probably see quite a bit of a debate in terms of who's QB1 in terms of Caleb Williams and Drake Maye. And it's not going to be unanimous one way or another. For those of you that are Titans fans, all 10 of you, and you're sitting there saying, why do you have them take a good edge rusher at 5 and not a quarterback? Because I don't know what the fuck the Titans are going to do, and who really cares? Keep a young quarterback away from them because they're only going to screw it up. Or, if Will Levis actually shows something in 2023, if he's given an opportunity, like, hey, they might bypass a quarterback. They waited until round 2 to draft a quarterback this year. Raiders fans, I can feel the hatred flowing within your silver and black veins right now because you say, you got us taking a quarterback, yes, but our goal is to tank and get that number 1 pick. Well, what happens if that doesn't happen? Now you're going to curse me out because you're saying, of all the quarterbacks you got us taking, you got us taking Riley Leonard from Duke? Shit, I don't know at this point. You're going to hear a lot of different names that could be QB3 in this draft behind Williams and Maye, right? Leonard's one of them. Bo Nix is one of them. Michael Penix Jr., Shedeur Sanders, Quinn Ewers. I could go on and on and on. There's going to be a lot of different quarterbacks. Joe Milton. You're going to hear about a number of different quarterbacks because after those top 2 guys, somebody's going to be QB3. I anticipate 4 to 5 quarterbacks going in round 1 in this draft as of right now. And I've got 5 quarterbacks going in round 1 here and all of them in the first 17 picks. That wouldn't feel crazy because you still have a ton of teams in the NFL that need quarterback help, young quarterback help especially. In terms of the Bears, for those Bears fans wondering what I've got them doing, Brock Bowers at 8, yes. I don't care they just signed Cole Kmet to a contract. They play different styles at tight ends. You don't pass up a Brock Bowers just because you already have Cole Kmet. Now, if you say you have some trepidation and concern about drafting a tight end in the top 8, I get that. And that might be a conversation that other teams would have in the months ahead. It's a legitimate question. Is it really worth it? But the Bears still are going to need playmakers. And then coming back and getting an edge rusher, I've got them slated to take Bralen Trice. The reality is that there is certainly a possibility that the Bears could double up on defensive linemen in next year's draft. Ryan Pace seems to love to double up on positions. He did that in 2022 with both of his second-round picks in the secondary, in Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker. He did it in 2023 in rounds 2 and 3 on in the interior of the defensive line with Javon Dexter Sr. and Zach Pickens. So there's a little bit of a trend there that he likes to double up on these positions. So it wouldn't surprise me if he invested both picks on the defensive front. If he was going to invest in any front, I'd rather invest in the offensive front because that's the more important one, but it is what it is. Anyways, though, you can check out my mock draft. The picks, like I said, are in the description box, and you can rant away about it. I'll try and come during the course of the season, try and come and do maybe 1 updated mock draft a month. That's how I'm thinking about it right now. And I'll start opining on Twitter as I try to start studying guys earlier in the process, start to get a feel for guys. You'll start to understand how I feel about them, where I think some guys are being overrated or underrated. It's all coming. So, anyways, enjoy.